Something like that.
I think it's
Great.
fresh.
Yeah.
I think it's lovely.
If a man wears this in a pub,
In a pub.
She falls in love immediately.
What would you give it out of 10?
I would give that a 9.
What kind of person would you see wearing something like this?
Myself.
Yourself?
And it smells luxurious, or how to say,
Luxurious. Good news, guys. Our first fragrance release is available to those of you in the United States. We've worked with DHL, who have said that they can ship it to you guys. As a reminder, guys, this fragrance of ours is a fresh, smoky, metallic marine fragrance that is used for versatile daily use, and it combines both blue and green notes. I get 8 to 10 hours with it, and this is a 25% concentration fragrance. This is not a clone of anything. This is an original creation. The idea of our brand, guys, is that we take £200 fragrances and sell them to you for £70. They're not clones, but the idea is that we take out the middlemen. We're selling it directly to you to give you the best fragrance possible for your money. If you want to support this project, guys, the link for the Kickstarter is in the description below. Let's get into the video. Ramadan Kareem, everyone who's fasting this year. Today, we're going to be doing a fragrance brand tier list. I asked you guys on Instagram to give me your favorite brands, and we're going to do those usual screen prints that you see on YouTube of A tier, B tier, C tier. And I'm going to explain the tiers as I'm ranking the fragrance brands. We're going to go through 10 different brands today, guys. If you agree or disagree with each of these, let me know in the comments down below. Let's get started. Okay, we're starting off strong. Tom Ford. Now, this is one of my favorite brands out there. If I had to give it a tier, I would say it's an A tier brand for fragrances. They have legendary scents like Black Orchid, Oud Wood, Noir Extreme, Tobacco Vanille, as well as many others that we know of. I did not put them as an S tier brand. I put them as A tier because I would say that they do have some legendary scents and they're fairly consistent in putting out very high quality releases, but their older stuff is better than their more current stuff. I feel like they're going a little bit downhill with their creativity. So I think maybe if it was 5-10 years ago, they would have been S tier. Nowadays, I think it's more safe to say they're A tier, even though they are my favorite designer brands. Armani, I think, is extremely underrated. If we're talking about Giorgio Armani, I think it's an S tier brand because they are extremely consistent in both their quality and the performance of their fragrances. They're very easy to wear fragrances. Maybe they're not the most mind-blowing niche releases out there, but they have completely revolutionized the fragrance market several times with both Acqua di Gio and the original Armani Code. And even when they re-release these DNAs with new flankers, they keep out putting out very good releases like Code Absolu or Armani Code Profumo. Bulgari. Now, you guys may hate me for this one, but I'm going to say it's a B tier brand because Bulgari does have a lot of bad releases. They have a lot of flankers for their fragrances. They're a little bit outdated. I feel like they should just be discontinued, actually. And I think they do a lot of flankers that are just redundant in general. They do have some fantastic releases, so they're not a C tier brand, they're B tier. So I would say they're consistently releasing not great scents, but they do have a few very standout releases. YSL is going to join Bulgari in the B tier as well. Again, some legendary fragrances, but I think their glory days were more in the past. This is the direction that Tom Ford is heading. They have some legendary scents like Kuros. I love it. YSL YEDP, but then I think, again, they're just so stuck on making really redundant flankers and not well-planned flankers also. They made Blue Electric recently, which is legendary, but then they discontinue it after a few months. It just isn't definite in its purpose. I don't know what they're aiming for with their fragrances anymore. It's not as special as it used to be with fragrances like M7, Jazz. Guerlain, a very traditional French house. I would say they're A tier. They don't have fragrances, in my opinion, that just stand out so much to myself or in the community, it seems, but they do have some very good consistency and very good quality. And especially as well, for how high quality their scents smell, they do put out very good value for money fragrances. The affordability is great. I like their L'Homme Idéal line, I like their old school stuff like Vetiver, I like Lindstone, the Guerlain. They do put out a lot of good stuff. Again, a few redundant flankers from the L'Homme Ideal line, but overall I'd say it's a very solid and consistent house. Hugo Boss. Okay, this is gonna have to go C tier, definitely. Most of their fragrances are bad. They are consistently extremely safe. They have the same woody molecule, isoe super DNA that is very easy to like when you go to a department store, you spray it, you smell the opening, you buy it. They don't make anything exciting. I think their best fragrance was Hugo Boss Bottled Intense EDP, which is now discontinued. I don't really think of any fragrances from them that are particularly good. I think they consistently have bad performance as well. The new scent Le Parfum in fairness is pretty good, but I feel like that should have been what the original was, in my opinion. Prada, A tier, absolutely. Very consistent, very good fragrances. They have their own style, clean and powdery. I would not put them as S tier only for the fact that they do have some of their big hitters are clone fragrances, like Prada L'Homme is a clone of Dior Homme Eau, Prada Carbon is obviously a clone of Sauvage, Prada Sport is a clone of Le Mal. Overall, they do have some good unique creations as well. I think they're a very good brand. I think they're just shy of the S tier, but yeah, if you want consistency, they're very, very good. Chanel is gonna go S tier. Very consistent, very good brand. Pretty much all their fragrances, going from their old school stuff to their new school, including their private line, is very, very good. You do get a consistent high quality with the name. I think they made it that way. They don't like to put out redundant releases. It can be a disadvantage in the fact that they haven't released anything new for a long time, but I can't deny that they have a good variety of things out there. They're just such an elite brand, and unlike another brand I'm going to discuss now, I don't feel like they're putting out any rubbish at all. They are very strict and very disciplined. Parfums De Marly, S tier for sure. Again, they are an expensive brand, fair enough, but they are worth the money. When you smell any of their fragrances, you just know you're getting quality. They've got legendary releases like Leighton, Herod, Carlisle, Pegasus, high performance pretty much all the time, and they have very unique stuff to them that makes them legendary. They are a very good beginner niche brand to get into. They're definitely S tier. I can't see any other way. And last but not least, Dior, which I think may be the most controversial one on this list. For me, they are just shy of S tier. They are high A tier in my opinion. Again, very good stuff from their old era as well as their more modern stuff. However, I do feel like they're resting on those laurels, that double-edged sword of success from Sauvage, and have put out stuff that's just not as creative as it used to be. Dior Homme 2020 does not touch the original Dior Homme. It doesn't have the same creativity we saw with things like Dior Homme Parfum or even the original Fahrenheit. I do think they're still a great brand, but I still do think, again, similar to Tom Ford, their newer direction isn't quite as good as what it used to be, although in fairness they have put out really good releases like Sauvage Elixir, and I do like the new Dior Homme Sport as well. What is your opinion, guys? I'd love to know in the comments down below. I know it's maybe controversial in this video, some of these opinions. If you guys want me to do another fragrance tier list sort of video again, let me know. And of course, guys, we've got almost 20 days left before the Kickstarter finishes, so make sure you're supporting our launch it any way you can. Even if you're not giving money, guys, share the project. Try to get as many of your friends involved as possible. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.